What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Fall Damage Central podcast. I'm the Mighty Bildo, and each and every week I'm accompanied by the Old School Legend Gaming here on YouTube. What's up, Old School?
What up? What up?
Man, what's been going on with you this week? Anything new and exciting?
Not much, man. Just grinding it at work, trying to get this game time in. I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast last week, but my Xbox One X had broken. So
Mm-hmm.
I ended up purchasing a Xbox Series X, and I got a pretty
Ooh,
good deal.
yeah.
So I got that Diablo bundle. So been having fun with that a little bit, trying to get all my stuff transferred over and installed and everything. So yeah, that's pretty much been the week. The week in the
Nice.
old school Legends house. How about you,
Nice.
man?
Well, I was at Target last weekend with my dad and my daughter, and we're just kind of killing time. It was raining all day Saturday, so we didn't really have much to do. So we just went and walked around Target, looked at some toys and stuff, and then obviously made it over to the video game section. And I was just kind of moseying around, and my dad was behind me, and I pointed out like, "Oh, look, they got a Series X right there in the case." And he was like, "Really?" And his Xbox 360, he never had an Xbox One, but he had a 360 that he used to play Left 4 Dead and Dead Space on and stuff. And it just recently died within the last like 2 weeks. Um, and he was like, I'm done. I ain't getting another one. But then when we were in Target and I pointed the Xbox Series X out to him, he looked at it and maybe 30, 45 seconds came by, kind of shrugged it off. And I was down looking at something else. He's like, hey, you think I should get that? And I was like, oh, man. I was like, hey, that's all you. Like, I don't want to tell him to get it and then him be pissed off that he wasted $500 if he never plays it. But he ended up getting it. He got Starfield with it, and
Nice.
he got the Diablo bundle also. Um, so we got that, got it home to his house, and then installed Starfield and Diablo, and then um, Left for Dead. And Starfield and Diablo ran great on it. Looks awesome. He's got a big 65-inch 4K OLED TV and everything. It looks awesome. But I was really surprised with Left 4 Dead, the first one.
Mhm.
Like you weren't kidding when you said that thing upscales all the older games as well and makes them run better because it looked pretty sexy. I gotta
Yeah.
say.
Damn. So that's I got to be honest, man. That's some straight goat shit displayed by your father there, man.
I
I
know, man.
that's cool as hell. I wish, man. I wish to hell that my dad would be able to play video games. I wish he would be interested in something like that. That way I have like something to discuss with him. But I think that's cool as hell, man. You guys got something to talk about now. Maybe do a little multiplayer with some Diablo. You pick up Diablo finally and then you guys run some dungeons.
Yeah.
Maybe get a copy of Left 4 Dead, man. And I think the servers are still up for Left 4 Dead. Um, run something on there. I've got Left 4 Dead too. So
Oh yeah.
that's actually that was one of the games that I was kind of anxious to try on the Series X just to see how it runs.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. I
other
mean,
one is
if it runs anything like the first, it runs great.
the other one I want to check out is Fallout New Vegas because I know for a while they didn't have an update patch for Fallout New Vegas, but
Mhm.
now apparently they have an update patch to where it's updated visuals and I think a higher frame rate. So
Oh,
I'm
that'd be sick.
pretty excited about that.
That'd be sick. Um, but another thing that happened last weekend. I'm a big New York Jets fan. I love NFL football, right? And being a Jets fan comes with a lot of turmoil and a lot of tears in the past 20 years that I've been a Jets fan. The closest we've gotten to the Super Bowl was back, I can't remember the exact years. I think it was like 08, 09, maybe 09, 010 or 2010, something like that. We got to the NFC or AFC Championship game, which is just before the Super Bowl, the game right before the Super Bowl. Like whoever wins that game is going to the Super Bowl. Um, and we got to that game 2 years in a row and we lost both years. So those were like the peak years of my Jets fandom. And ever since then, it's just been a downhill thing, right? Every year, it's like you watch great teams like the New England Patriots for the past 20 years with Tom Brady at quarterback, and it's like you watch him and it's like, oh, he's got it under control. When is like he's going to make big plays every game. He's going to win the game. There's always a chance with Tom Brady at quarterback for the Patriots. And watching the Jets for me for the past 20 years, it's always like, oh, what are they going to do this game to screw it up? You know what I mean? Um, but let me rewind a little bit. So in 2019, I believe 2020, they went like 3-13, 3-14, something like that. So they were like one of the worst teams in the league. They had one of the top picks in the draft that year and drafted a quarterback, Zach Wilson. He, like, everybody's excited. He was good in college, and we wanted to see what he could do for us. He came out. He wasn't anything special. He was young, still learning the system, still learning the NFL, playing the NFL speed and everything. But he wasn't that great. The second year he was in there, he was a little better, but still not that great. Like we didn't think he was going to be. I didn't think he was going to be our franchise quarterback for the next 20 years or whatever. But this offseason, we got we traded for Aaron Rodgers with the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers is a 18 or 19-year vet in the league. He's a certified Hall of Famer. Um, he's been Player of the Year 2 or 3 times, maybe. I don't know off the top of my head. But he's a great quarterback. He's won a Super Bowl or two, and he's awesome. And the whole Jets fandom was like, "Yes, this is our year." We got um, Aaron Rodgers, who took almost a pay cut to come to the Jets because he just wants to win another championship before he retires. Since he took a pay cut, we were able to get more insane players, wide receivers, Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb, both from the Packers. So they had rapport with Aaron Rodgers. Got Dalvin Cook at running back. Um, a bunch of defensive players that are just top notch. Our defense has been pretty good over the years, but this year was above and beyond the best. So there's a lot of excitement going into the season. We had our opening game on Monday Night Football against the Buffalo Bills. Aaron Rodgers comes out. First play, he hands off to the running back, Brees Hall, takes it down the field for 20, 25 yards. Big run. Super excited. We're looking good. Second play, he drops back to pass. He scrambles a little bit before he gets sacked, and then he throws it. Incomplete pass. Okay, whatever. Not a good play. Third play, same thing happens. Fourth play of the game, Aaron Rodgers drops back to pass. He gets tackled in the backfield, and he gets hurt. So
Man.
he gets hurt, and he kind of stands back up after the play, looking around. He's looking at the sideline, and he's just shaking his head, and he sits down on the field. And everybody, like, my heart stops. I'm like, no. So they take him back, take him to the locker room for an X-ray, give him an X-ray. There's no broken bones or anything, but the next day, I guess it's the next day, he gets an MRI, and it's revealed that he tore his Achilles. That he's out for the entire season. 4 plays into the first game of the year, he's out for the entire season.
Man. That
And
sucks.
it does. And now it's just like, well, that's the being a Jets fan for you. So
So I actually I did hear about that. I didn't realize that it was the quarterback for the Jets. I just heard because anybody listening, I don't watch football. That's why he was explaining it to such detail. So I did hear about the injury. I just didn't realize that he was the Jets quarterback and all that backstory and stuff. So I'm glad you explained that because like if you would have just been like, oh man, the quarterback got hurt and he's out for the season, to me there'd be nothing. I'd be, oh okay, damn that
Yeah,
sucks. But
yeah.
you explaining like your feelings and everything else and his journey and stuff, now it's kind of a big deal. But damn man, I feel for you guys.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, that's just part of being a Jets fan. I'm hoping, like, we still have all those other good players. I'm hoping the young quarterback can come back in. Zach Wilson, he's still there. Um, I kind of got respect for him for not wanting to leave right away. He wanted to learn under Aaron Rodgers and become a better quarterback. So hopefully he can pick up the slack this year and do his thing. But ah, just my hopes are in the gutter right now. But on the bright side, we did end up squeaking out a win on Monday night. So
Oh,
we're 1 and
nice.
0 right now. So uh, you know, bright
I mean, that's
skies
off to a
ahead.
good
Hopefully,
start. Yeah,
yeah.
that's off to a good start. Because this is like they're playing like the official season, right? It's not preseason
Yep.
anymore.
Yep. This is the official season now. But anyway, I wanted to get that off my chest. It's been eating me all week, pissed off, but I'm good now. I'm good. Ready to look ahead to week 2. Um,
Yeah, they playing this weekend.
yeah, they're playing Sunday against the Cowboys, I think, which the Cowboys are pretty good, looking pretty good this year. They beat the Giants 40-0 last weekend.
Oh,
So we'll see. I don't know. But game wise, we had a Nintendo Direct and a State of Play today.
yeah, man. We were eating good today.
I
Well,
know.
I don't know how good, but we were eating. I'll just say that.
um, so I was I kind of half-ass watch them when I got home from work today. I didn't really dive too deep into them. I've seen the announcements and everything. But what'd you see that kind of piqued your interest a little bit?
So they showed off the Princess Peach game for the Nintendo Direct,
Uh huh.
which I thought that actually looked really fun. I don't know if I'm gonna pick that up day one, that kind of thing, but it looks like it's a bunch of different like mini games almost.
Yeah.
So there's like different scenes. So there's one where she transforms into like a detective and she has to find clues to like solve whatever case. There's one where she turns into like Kung Fu Princess and she's like beating up other people in her kung fu gear.
Yeah.
Um, there was one scene where she's like a sword fighter, and she uses her sword to like cut through stuff and beat up enemies and everything. So I thought it looked pretty good, man. I'm interested in it. It looks, you know, I'd check it out, just to see how it is. Um,
Yeah, I was kind of like I was kind of critical of it when it first got announced. I think a few weeks ago, but after seeing this trailer, it I'm happy with it. Like they changed it just enough from like a typical Mario game to make it like her own game, and
mhm.
it looks interesting. I don't think, like you said, I don't think it'll be a day one purchase for me, but maybe catch it on sale for like $40 or something. I'll give it a shot.
So one of the other games that they showed off, and they gave I can't remember if they gave a release date or not, but it was Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, and
Hmm.
I believe I could be wrong on this one. I think this is actually just an HD remake of the one on the Nintendo DS, or I'm sorry, on the 3DS called Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I think that was the
Really?
name of it.
So
hmm
there was no Luigi's Mansion 2 on GameCube?
No, no. So they had Luigi's Mansion, and then I don't remember if they came out with one on the Wii. I know they had the one on the 3DS, and I think they had one on the DS. I can't quite remember.
Hmm.
Um, and then I don't think there was one on the Wii U. And then I remember there's one on the Switch. I can't remember which one that is. I don't know if that's like Luigi's
That's
Mansion
3.
3 or
Yep.
just okay.
I have
Yeah.
that one.
So yeah, I actually have that one too. I've never played it though. It's sitting on the shelf still in its wrapper. So
So I played it and I enjoyed it, but I never finished it. I'm thinking going into spooky season, like we talked last week. I think I might
mhm.
give it a go and finally finish it this coming month or so.
Nice, nice. That'd be a good that's a good game to finish during Halloween,
Yep.
because the ghosts and everything. So back in the day, I played the original Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube, and it was good. I liked it, and I don't know why I never tried out any of the other ones. It's just something that just got away from me. So that looks pretty good. That'll probably be one of those, pick up eventually, not day one.
Yeah.
Um, one of the other games that they showed off, which I thought is going to be pretty badass, is the Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 remastered collection. So what this is the original Tomb Raider games from the PlayStation 1 era are being remade for the Nintendo Switch in HD graphics.
Hmm.
Big fan of the Tomb Raider series, specifically a big fan of 1 through 3 on the original PlayStation. These are games that I go back to and I play frequently on the PlayStation 1, but the controls for them today are just atrocious. They
Ah.
are so bad. But back then in like 96, that was like the thing. You know what I mean? It was like
Yep.
when Tomb Raider 1 came out, it was, oh man, this is dope. This is so I'm hoping with this remaster we get some updated controls because I would love that.
I think I saw something too on about it that you could switch back and forth from the old like polygon look to the remake graphics.
Yeah, yeah, and I do like that feature. That's one of
Hmm.
the features that they have in the Halo Master Chief collection, and I
Yep.
think I think it was like the Halo Anniversary collection that came out, where you could switch back and forth from the original Xbox graphics to like the updated graphics. I absolutely love when games do that.
Oh yeah, that is pretty
They
sweet.
showed off a little bit more of the upcoming release of Super Mario RPG. So we're getting some new features there. It looks like we're gonna have some sort of, I guess, like new game plus boss mode where you could go back and you could refight some of the bosses again, but they're going to be much harder. There's a couple of new mechanics. So in the original Super Mario RPG, when you do your attack, you press your attack button again at a certain time and you do more damage. So in this version, what's going to end up happening is when you time that, you're going to damage all the enemies on the screen versus just the one enemy from the original. So I kind of like that update.
I saw that. Yeah,
Really
it
excited
looks
about
really
that.
good. It looks good, like graphically too. It looks real nice.
Yeah, that like those graphics are really really clean, man. Like no neck Mario. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. That's that's where it's at.
Oh yeah.
Um outside of that, man, there like for me, there wasn't really too much that tickled my fancy. I didn't go in expecting anything. I know like the rumors were about again. Oh, they're gonna Metroid and Zelda Twilight Princess. I didn't expect any of that stuff. I mean, I think if they do release that, I'm pretty sure this is the last Nintendo Direct that we're having for 2023. Um, Maybe they have another one in like December or something. But I think we already know that the successor to the Switch is going to be released sometime next year.
Hmm.
So I think if those games are being made, I don't think they're going to be announced until that new system comes out, and they're going to launch with that system.
Yeah, I saw somebody speculating in one of the videos I watched today about this direct that they're releasing a lot of like remakes and stuff of older games and like
Hmm.
just ports of older games because they have their main focus on a lot of their developers and stuff are for the next gen console, whatever that is.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
so
Oh,
hopefully,
what? Speaking of remakes, one of the other games that they showed off, it's a reimagining of the original Contra from the
mm,
Nintendo.
yep,
Man, that looked really really good. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be a digital only game, but I'm probably going to download that day one when it comes out because I love the original Contra, man, and I would love to try this out and see how it is.
yeah. So I never played the original Contra. Um, I think I played whichever one is on the SNES Classic, and then I think there's one on there. But I also played the one that's on the Genesis Classic, the mini Genesis, Contra Hardcore, and
Hmm.
that is like super fun, a super fun game. Um, is hard as hell. Don't get me wrong, but I really enjoyed it. So I'm glad to see the first one being remade, and I might pick that one up as well.
Yeah, big fan of the Contra series, man. Good to see them getting some love again.
Oh yeah. What'd you think about the Mario vs. Donkey Kong remake?
It doesn't really do much for me. I never played any of the other like Mario versus Donkey Kong games, so obviously there's a market for it, and eh, I mean,
Like, how old are those games? Like, when was the last one released? I didn't even like. I know the like original Mario. Like the first time somebody ever seen Mario was in a Donkey Kong game, I
mhm.
think. But other than that, I didn't know there was actual Mario vs. Donkey Kong series.
Yeah. So I think it might go back to the Game Boy Color. I think there's one on the Game Boy Advance. I never really paid attention to that series too much because it wasn't a thing for me because it's more of like a puzzle game almost.
Hmm.
Just trying to get over like obstacles and finding out different way to get through the obstacles and stuff like that. So I never really got into that stuff.
Yeah, I think it kind of got my interest because of the puzzle mechanic in it. I thought it might be kind of interesting to pick up and just play once in a while. Again, probably not a day one purchase, and I don't think it. I hopefully don't think it justifies a full $60 price tag. Hopefully, it's like a little $40 thing to get into.
Yeah. And then the last thing they announced was the Paper Mario 10,000 Year Door remake coming out on the Switch.
Hmm.
So pretty excited about that one too because that's a really good game.
Really, you played that one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was so back when I owned my original GameCube, that was one of the games that I had, and I had gotten rid of it like an idiot. But if you go on eBay now, like I mean, games like $100, maybe more. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping with this release, that original copy now goes down in price. I mean, if somebody's looking for the original copy, um, but yeah, these graphics look slick, man. They look smooth. I'm sure that it's gonna run like butter, and pretty excited for that one, man. I think that's coming out sometime in 2024, I believe.
Yeah. I've never played the Thousand Year Door, but I have played. I have not played. I'm sorry. I bought the one for Switch, the newest one, of the Origami King.
Mhm.
But it's still sealed. I never played it. I mainly bought it because I got it on sale from somewhere. I think you're the one that put me onto that sale, like a year or two ago. But I bought it because I know those games typically go way up in value, and at some point I would like to play it, and I don't want to pay $150 for a game like that. Um, so yeah, I'll probably end up getting this one too when it releases. It's something I kind of always wanted to play, just haven't really gotten around to it yet, but it's on the list.
Yeah, so this is an RPG game also. So on the Super Nintendo they had Mario RPG, and then on the N64 they had Paper Mario, which was like the next iteration of Mario RPG. I'm not sure why they went that route, but you know, Paper Mario was kind of cool. 10,000 Door was cool. I think I remember playing the one on the Wii, and I did not like it. I remember it being kind of trash, so I never went through that one. And now I didn't bother getting the one on the Switch either. So maybe for Black Friday I might end up picking that up because I know like the first party Nintendo games tend to go down to like 39.99 during Black
Yeah,
Friday.
wow. I could have sworn you're the one that put me onto the sale for the Origami King, because I think I want to say I got it for like $20. It was like a crazy steal.
Dang,
I was like, damn,
really?
yeah, I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't. Maybe I did honestly. Maybe I was like, oh, check this out, and I just for whatever reason I just didn't get it.
yeah, interesting. Um,
But yeah, man, we also had the PlayStation State of Play today as well.
hmm. Oh yeah.
And I again with that one, I didn't really have any expectations. I didn't think we were going to see any blockbuster or anything. So typically with the State of Plays, those are kind of like the lower, like they show off some games that they've already announced previously. The PlayStation Showcase is the one where they start announcing like the new titles and stuff.
Yeah.
But right off the bat, one of the things that stood out to me with this state of play is the Sony's Deep Earth collection of the DualSense controllers and the PS5 shells. So we got some new colors. What it is, it's volcanic red controller and PS5 shell, cobalt blue controller, PS5 shell, and a sterling silver PS5 shell and controller. My
Oh
opinion,
yeah,
I think that volcanic red is hard as hell.
yeah,
That looks so good. That silver, I normally I like silver, but like it kind of looks white. It, it doesn't look too silver to me. It looks more white than it does silver.
yeah.
Um, but that volcanic red set, I will be getting that.
It does look sexy. Now, um, I'm not going to read this whole article right now, but it's not. They're releasing the plates, right? It's not just a whole. It's not a whole new console. It's plates for the system, and then a
Correct.
controller, obviously. Okay,
Hmm.
that's pretty. Yeah, it is sexy. I'm looking at them right now. I think the red does look the coolest for sure.
Yeah, I will be scooping that one up because so I've actually been I was gonna buy a red controller during Black Friday because I do love the color red, but the current red that's out now it's just a little too dark for my liking. This one
Yeah,
here, it's nice and bright red. So I've got one of my PS3s. I've got uh, the God of War themed PS3, and it's bright red controller, and I freaking love that thing, man, because it looks so good with that bright red. It just like pops. Um, I've got I've got a red Nintendo Wii that my wife got me years back. It was like the Super Mario edition, the Super Mario All Stars edition or whatever.
yep,
Nintendo Wii, like bright bright red Wii remote. It just pops, man. In your collection, you have your display, man, super nice. So I definitely see that volcanic red coming into my collection, man, and just being on display. So as soon as you walk in that game room, you just see that pop, that big pop of
yeah.
red, man.
Be sexy, boy. Shoot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um.
So
Go
what
ahead.
else did they announce?
Well, they showed off
They
the Final Fantasy Seven Rebirth.
yeah, so they showed off a little bit more for that, and I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I know a lot of people are excited about it. I'm excited too. Um, you know, they showed off Vincent, which was one of the main characters in the original Final Fantasy VII. So it combat looks very similar to Rebirth or the Final Fantasy VII remake, and yeah, I don't didn't show off anything in that trailer that was like mind blowing or like oh man this is so great. They just showed off more footage for it. So if you played the previous version, then you pretty much know what you're getting.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that like it's a bad thing, like they should have showed off more or whatever. It's just it is what it is.
Yep. In an interview, the game director Naoki Hamaguchi, sorry if I slaughtered that, um, but he confirmed that you won't be able to port over your remake save or character builds into Rebirth. So everything that you worked so hard to get in the
Oh
first one will not port over.
damn. No, I did not know that. That is that is straight trash, man.
It kind of sucks.
I mean, I kind of understand why, but I don't know, man. I just dang, that's wild.
Yeah, because
That is
like
wild.
if you think about it, it's a remake of a game that was one entire game 20 plus years ago. Um,
Yeah,
so you would think they try to make it more seamless and all your stuff carries over to make it more of a like a one game experience. But that
yeah,
sucks.
yeah. That's awful, man. Because with the original one, in theory, you could sit there in one of the first areas and just grind until you get to level 99. It's going to take you forever, but you could do it.
Hmm.
Um, plus like the materia and stuff that you collect, like you could take that with you to the end of the game. So now they're pretty much saying, hey, any of that stuff that you had in the previous game, it's it's not carrying over.
Yeah,
Sorry. Eesh.
that
Eesh.
sucks.
they
Um,
they showed off a lot of VR stuff, man.
yeah,
So we got so I know they're pushing that pretty hard. Not a fan of VR. I've got the original PlayStation VR, and every time I use it I vomit. So, you know, I don't really know what else. I don't know what much else to say about the VR titles.
yeah. For me, I don't feel like even with the PSVR 2, I don't think it's there yet for me. Um, like the games are just focused on kind of showing off the hardware of the VR headsets and stuff. I don't feel like they're full AAA experiences. And this is coming from a guy that hasn't played many, hasn't played
Mhm.
any really. I played a couple small games on my little nephew's Quest 2, but that's it. But from the outside looking in, like I watched some reviews on that Iron Man game from the first PlayStation VR,
Mhm.
and it was just that. It was like, oh, you're in an Iron Man suit and you just fly around the city trying to collect stuff, and there's really not much to do. I, f- I hope they're getting better, and it looks like the Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord, the trailer they showed, it looks like they're getting a little better with it, but I just don't think it's quite there for me to justify spending like $600 or whatever it is on a PSVR 2 right now.
Yeah, definitely. So on the first PSVR, Final Fantasy, Resident Evil 7, they had a VR mode for that. Man, that was so freaking creepy in VR, but it's
Really?
just that motion sickness, man. I couldn't finish it. I was able to get to like so pretty much like you start off, you're like you're searching for your wife, you're walking through woods and stuff, you enter this house, stuff goes down, and then you actually find her and she's possessed, and you end up having to like kill her, but not
Mm-hmm.
really.
Huh.
Um I made it to like that part, and because there's like a little battle with her, I made it to that part, and I couldn't do it anymore. It was just I got so dizzy and nauseous. And then one of the other games I have is Skyrim in VR, and that I mean it's beautiful, man. You go in there, and it's just like it feels like you're in the world of Skyrim, but again, it's just that dizziness and that motion sickness. It
Yeah.
just kills it. Yeah.
Damn. I'm all for some VR and getting immersed in like a whole nother world. I hope it gets to that point at some point where, and I feel like the headsets are like too big and bulky too. Like I wish
Yeah.
they were like smaller headsets and you'd be able to like wear them for a few hours if you wanted to.
So from what I've heard with the VR2 is the headset for this one is actually smaller and it's significantly lighter than the first iteration.
Hmm.
So I think that that'll probably help quite a bit because the PSVR 1 that headset is pretty heavy and there's a knob on the back that you have to adjust to like tighten the headband and it's just I don't know, it kind of feels just like a vice grip on your head almost. And I think that kind of adds to the nausea and the motion sickness and the dizziness and stuff.
Cuts off the blood flow and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless that's what it's designed to do.
Yeah. uh Resident Evil 4 remake is getting the Separate Ways DLC on September 21st. A few more days.
Yeah. So I haven't played the remake yet. I'm waiting for Black Friday because
Mhm.
for that game, $20 is the sweet spot for me.
Yeah.
Um I mean, I've played the original Resident Evil 4 dozens of times on the GameCube, on the PS2, the PS3, PS4, so I've played it many many times. So I mean, I get it, it's a remake and a little bit different, but it's kind of the same to me still.
Hmm.
So hopefully Black Friday we get that $20 price point so I can pick that up. A little disappointed about that Separate Ways DLC being paid. uh because on the original Resident Evil 4 that's just an extra mode, after you beat the game and stuff. I don't think it was on the original GameCube. I think it first got released on the PS2 version. But it was just one of those things, man. It just you did that after you beat the game. So it kind of sucks that this time you got to pay for it.
What was that DLC actually DLC back on the PS2?
No, it wasn't DLC. It was just like an extra game mode.
Something you
So,
unlocked after you beat it or something?
yep, yeah.
Okay.
So some games they just have like a different mode or something like that when you beat it.
Yeah.
That's what
Now they're
this was.
selling it. That sucks.
Yeah. So I guess one positive thing to that is they're releasing Wesker and Ada for the Mercenaries mini game. They're releasing that for free. So I guess that's
Mm.
cool. But that would suck to have to pay for those two characters for Mercenaries.
Yeah. Man.
One of the games I wanted to ask you if you've been paying attention to is Helldivers 2.
No, I have not, but I did see some of the trailer today, and I'm not too sure. Like, what is that all about?
So I have not really sure, man. So the first one came out, and I know they released it for it was free on PlayStation Plus like a couple years ago or whatever, and it was one of those isometric games, like top down,
Uh huh.
similar to like Diablo, like that type. So this one's out, and it kind of reminds me of Starship Troopers. You ever seen that movie, Starship Troopers?
Yes. Oh, dude,
Okay.
have I seen it? When I was a kid, watched it one time with my dad. He was watching it, and it was the first movie I ever saw a pair of boobies in. And
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta get this movie back to my room so I can watch it by myself.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I would just like pause it and just stare at the TV like,
yeah.
oh, I was probably like 7, 8 years old.
So when I was a kid, my buddy thought Denise Richards was like so hot, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I just didn't think she looked that good. So I always thought in the movie, I thought Dizzy looked better than I can't remember her name, but like Denise Richards' character.
Uh-huh.
So I was always like, yeah, man, homeboy ended up with with the right girl. Because I always thought Dizzy was hot, and the actress that plays Dizzy, yeah, you get to see the them tiggle bitties.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
that
sir.
was a big plus. But yeah, anyway, like this game Helldivers 2, man, this reminds me a lot of Starship Troopers because you're fighting like these big giant insects with all kinds of weaponry and stuff. So it looks like it's third person shooter. Uh really, really my interest is peaked very high. Not enough to where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go pre-order it day one buy,
Yeah.
but I think on a sale, yeah, I think I'm gonna scoop this bad boy up, man, because it does look fun. Um, Granted, if it is good, like once it comes out, we'll get we'll see the reviews and stuff. Not that the reviews really mean anything, but I'm sure a couple of my buddies will get it. I'll hear it from them, and then if it's good, give it a try.
Yeah. I got the video playing over here now, and it looks pretty sick. When I was listening to the audio earlier, it was like I guess it's pretty co-op focused.
Hmm.
So that'd be pretty sick to jump into with some buddies.
Yeah, man, you get a
So,
good squad and just
mhm.
tear some shit up.
Hell yeah. Um, Obviously they showed off a little tiny bit more of Spider-Man 2 coming out next month.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know if it was confirmed before. I might have missed it, but they actually officially confirmed that um, the area of New York City that you play in is double the size of the first game, which was pretty big
yeah,
before. So I'm pretty excited about this one.
yeah. So they added Brooklyn and Queens, I think it was. They said
I think,
so.
yeah, I think so.
Dude, that's gonna be a huge game.
And you could seamlessly, they say seamlessly switch between Miles and Peter too. So I think that's gonna be sick.
Nice.
An Avatar game, don't really care about that.
Yeah. Baby steps. That was. It looks like that's a kind of like a walking simulator almost. I don't know. Like it just. I didn't.
Nah,
I didn't think it looked that good. It was just like okay.
I thought the
There's a lot
dialogue
of
they had between the characters was pretty funny. Like they were cursing and stuff, but
yeah. There's a lot of cursing.
yeah,
But outside of that, I'm just like oh okay.
yeah.
Oh, they announced a beta for that Foam Stars. which is like
Mhm.
the Splatoon clone.
Yep.
Um, so I might check that out. I think it starts on the 29th of September. You know,
Okay.
I wouldn't buy that game. That like to me that doesn't seem like a game that I would buy at all. But I mean, hey, if it's a free beta, yeah, I'll check it out. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. If it's free, it's for me. I'll tell you that.
Free 99.
That's right. But yeah,
Um,
that's about all they showed, isn't it?
yeah, there was a couple of other games that I'm just there was one I think it was like an RPG like anime type looking game. I can't remember what it was, but I don't know. It didn't do anything for me.
Oh, they did say, going back to Spider-Man 2, they did say there's going to be like 65 different suits in the game.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah.
going to be
So there's going to
tons of
be.
stuff.
It looks like there's going to be the Spider-Man suits from the movies, the comics, and then a bunch of original ones.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that because that's one thing that the first one did have. It had a ton of suits and they were cool. I like even like an animated one from the old animated series. That thing was sick.
Yeah,
I'm very excited for that.
but yeah, I think
Uh,
that's pretty much it, man, for those for the direct and then the state of play.
yeah, yeah. No real bomb drops, but just a little more info on some games that we already knew about. There's a couple new announcements from the direct, but nothing crazy, just remakes and stuff. So
Yeah,
still good.
these next few weeks, man, these next few weeks are going to be super duper busy with gaming. I mean, you got shit dropping left and right, man. So I need to I need to prioritize and figure out what I'm going to get and what I'm going to wait on.
Yeah. Top of my list has got to be Spider-Man 2 and then Super Mario Brothers Wonder. And I think you've talked me into trying the Super Mario RPG remake.
So I think my strategy with that, I think I'm going to wait till Black Friday because with those games releasing so close to Black Friday, there's got to be some kind of deal on them, even if it's like $10 off or something.
You think
I
so?
mean, dude, yeah, I,
Dude,
I,
I gotta play Spider-Man 2 day one. I have to. I'm gonna pre-order it
yeah.
and I'm gonna go pick it up after work that day and I'm coming home and I'm playing the hell out of it.
So usually around like this time of year, like September, October, November, Target always has like a buy two get one free on games,
Hmm.
and previously they've done it to where you could get new releases. So if they do that and Mario Wonder's out, Mario RPG is out, um, I'm taking advantage of that sale, like
Yeah.
full throttle, man. Like we're going through it. But
Oh yeah.
the next big thing for me, man, is I think I'm gonna get that Cyberpunk DLC, man. I think I am.
And when does that come out? Does that come out in October too?
No, that comes out the 26th of this month.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Nice.
not next week, but the following Tuesday.
Yeah, I still got to play it through the main story of that game. I still got to boot it up and give it a go.
Yeah, I actually started another campaign on it a while back. This time I'm playing with a female character, and I'm trying to do like different decisions that I made during my first playthrough. Um, but I kind of got lost in the sauce on that one just because I started playing like all this other stuff. Um, but I'm a little nervous that everything coming out now is gonna kind of get lost in the sauce for me too, because there's like a lot of stuff I feel like replaying. Like I don't know why, man, but for some reason I want to go back. I want to play that Arkham Knight trilogy, man. I want
Really?
to play the Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and even the Arkham Origins. So Arkham Origins, man, I actually have that on the Wii U, and I kind of want to play that on the Wii U. I kind of want to play through it on that Wii U just to kind of see how that one runs.
Yeah. So, you have you played on there before?
No, no. So it came out. Arkham Origins is the it's like the prequel to Arkham Asylum and Arkham City.
Hmm.
That one came out. That one actually came out after them, and it's on PS3, 360, and the Wii U. So I've got the PS3 version, which I played a little bit of, and if if I remember correctly, like it ran like shit. It was like real choppy, kind of like stuttering issues, and I think a better version of it was on the 360.
Yeah,
But I don't even know how I ended up getting this copy on the Wii U, but it's there chilling. So I'm like, oh, let me go ahead and try that, give that a shot, and see how it runs on the Wii U. So if it runs like shit, I'm not going to play it. But if it runs good, I'm going to play through it.
nice. And they're releasing like a collection of all of them, aren't they?
Yeah, it's only the first three though.
Mm.
The Origins one isn't in it. Yeah, so it's just so they actually have the collection for the Xbox One and the PS4, and now it's coming out. I think probably sometime soon if it's not already for the Switch.
Hmm. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, man, this backlog got me feeling some kind of way, and it's just getting bigger and bigger.
Dude, I feel you. I'm still trying to play through some games on my GC loader back there. I fired it up probably weekend before last. I was playing a little of the wave race game they had on there. Um, that brought back some memories from the wave race on 64. That was pretty cool. I still want to get into the Zeldas on there. I feel like when I start up a Zelda game, I got to be ready to sink some hours into it. So I
For
haven't
sure.
quite touched those yet. Um,
I forgot. I haven't told you this. So we finished Twisted Metal the series. Excellent,
oh, okay.
ec- excellent series, man. We loved it. So
Yes.
watching that got me into playing, like wanting to play the games. So I started messing around playing with like Twisted Metal 1 on the PS1, Twisted Metal 2 on the PS1, Twisted Metal 3 on the PS1. So I've got Twisted Metal on the PS3. So that's like the like similar to the copy that I gave you.
Hmm.
I had played it when I had gotten it day one when it came out because I am a big Twisted Metal fan. Um, I didn't get into it. I got to a point and like I couldn't pass it, so I stopped playing. So I was like, you know what, man, I'm just gonna start over. I'm gonna play this game and let's go. So on the PS3, that Twisted Metal game, probably one of the hardest games I've ever played, and
Really?
it's very annoying. It's one of those games where you get frustrated. Like there's like a lot of frustration. There's one mission, um, probably I think it's like the third mission. So you start off playing a Sweet Tooth, and it plays different from the other Twisted Metal games because in the other Twisted Metal games, like you pick a vehicle and like you play as that character that's like the driver of that vehicle. In this one, there's a story arc for Sweet Tooth. There's a story arc for Mr. Grimm, and then there's a story arc for Dollface. So you could only play those three characters, but you could choose the vehicle you want to play as. So Sweet Tooth, you could choose his ice cream truck, or you could put him on a motorcycle. You could have him driving a Roadkill, Outlaw, and there's a bunch of other cars that you unlock as you progress through the game. But like the third mission in Sweet Tooth's campaign, there's this truck called the Juggernaut, and if you don't destroy it in however many, a minute or whatever it is, whatever the timer is, it spawns another enemy. So you already start with four other enemies in addition to the Juggernaut truck. So
Ooh.
the other thing is you can only hit the Juggernaut truck in a certain spot. So you have to pretty much chase this truck down and try to destroy it before it starts spawning guys out. In addition to watching out for the other four people who are trying to kill each other, watching out for like cliffs and stuff so you don't fall off.
Yeah.
That took forever. I finally got through it, and then there was a race, and it's this crazy thing where you have to go through all these checkpoints, and then at the end there's a bomb plate So towards the end, there's a bomb plate, right? So whoever's in first place is most likely to hit this bomb plate. So they get from one bomb plate to the second bomb plate. You have to try to kill them or beat them before they get to that second bomb plate, or else everybody blows up and you got to start the race over.
Oh,
Um, Man, I probably went through that damn thing like 30 times because I would get so close and oh, bomb plate's been activated. Oh, I don't know what the hell to do. I'm not going to be able to make it in time. Boom.
yeah.
So
Ho-
it's the other thing too is like when you're racing, everybody's shooting at each other and everything. So there's a good possibility that you won't even make it like 1/16th near the finish line because you're gonna die because all the other cars are shooting at you. Um,
God.
I finally went through it, man. I don't know what the hell got into me, but I was up until like 1 in the morning, like playing and stuff, and I'm just like, all right, I was determined to get through it. Finally got through it, man, and the story itself is not bad. Like the three stories are pretty good. The ending was pretty good, but the gameplay itself, man, I that game pissed me all the way off. So I'm glad I finished it, but I'll never play that game again.
Oh, wow.
And and that I think that's taking the place as my least favorite Twisted Metal.
Oof. Yeah, when I start up a game, the first thing I do is go to the difficulty settings and I'll change it to easy. Like
Yeah.
sometimes, occasionally, some games I might keep it on normal, but I'll never go any harder than that. Like I don't want that much of a challenge. I want a nice, fun gameplay thing with a good story. I don't need a million enemies coming at me at once or whatever, and almost face impossible odds, and that's just gonna raise my blood pressure and piss me off.
Yeah. And the crazy thing was is like I had this on like the easiest difficulty. So
Oh,
I could only imagine what like the hardest difficulty is like.
yeah, yeah. Um, since we last talked, I played. I'm playing a little bit more Starfield. I didn't play it as much as I did the first week. I've been busy like all weekend and stuff, but um, I don't know. Like, I don't know if now that more reviews are coming out for it, more people are talking about it and playing it online, and I'm watching videos about it. I'm seeing a lot of the complaints people have about same things I talked about with the travel and everything, and once you land on some of these planets, there's not enough to explore out in the open world and stuff,
Mhm.
and you run into invisible walls. Um, I don't know if that's like rubbing off on me. The cutscene after cutscene after cutscene after taking off from the planet, landing on a planet, uh, hitting light speed or whatever in space to zip to the next planet. It's just cutscene, load screen. I don't know if those people online that are talking trash about it are rubbing off on me, or they're just opening my eyes so I notice it more in game. But it is getting to that point where I'm like, God, this is like it could have been so much better with more exploration, but it is just like a loading screen simulator or something or cutscene simulator. It's kind of depressing, but I was playing it for like an hour or two last night, and I got to uh, a side quest where uh, you just come up to a random kiosk in New Atlantis, the first city you came to, and you fill out a job application for a company that's on another planet. So it opens up a side quest. You go to that planet, you talk to the lady in charge. She gives you a job, and you go get a cup of coffee for her. That's like her first task she wants you to do. And then an ex-employee approaches you and starts talking trash, and it kind of opens your eyes like, "Oh, whoa, what's this is kind of interesting. What's this company all about, really?" I'm not going to spoil it or nothing, but it's kind of drawn me back in. Like the storytelling and everything is good. The missions are cool and nice so far. Like if it gets to a point where it's just like, go here and get this, bring it back. Go here, kill this person, and come back. All right, now go get this and come back. Like then I think it'll get kind of boring, but for now, it's like still like a new type world for me, and I guess I'm still kind of enjoying it, but I am getting frustrated with all the cutscenes and like the cutscenes for landing and taking off and all that. Um, but yeah, I just figured I'd give you a little update on where I'm at with it.
Yeah. So is there any way to disable those cutscenes,
I don't
like
think so.
specifically for the landing?
I don't think so. I'll have to thumb through the options again and see, but I think I heard something in a video I was watching about somebody working on a mod to get rid of them, or
Mm.
somebody already came out with it or something. So I don't know. I don't really know how mods work with like Game Pass and all that, and I don't really like downloading random shit on my computer and possibly get a virus or something. So I'm always nervous of that. So I probably won't mess with it. But I will check the settings to see if I can shut them off.
So I know that I think they said next year they're going to be Bethesda is going to be launching their own like official mods for the game. So
Hmm.
typically with the Bethesda games, Skyrim, Fallout, there's mods that you could enable that are approved by the developers. There's like communities that make them, and they range from having like a god mode to like a box with every weapon with infinite ammo, like infinite armor, like this kind of stuff, or like graphic patches, like all this other stuff. So I don't know if I would trust an outside mod. So if somebody made like a mod for like the PC version and it's like something you have to like download, it's like a .exe file and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I I probably wouldn't do that. It's probably safe, but I just wouldn't, just on the off chance that like something happens with it. Plus, I
Yeah,
think since you're playing it on Game Pass, I don't know how the PC Game Pass works. I don't know if you could, install mods or you have like free range for all that stuff.
yeah,
So like I know with Steam, if you play a game on Steam, you could go in there and you could install patches and do all that other stuff. Like you have pretty much free reign on that game. So I would imagine Microsoft for the PC Game Pass, they probably have a little bit of a tighter leash on that.
yeah. I would think so.
So I don't know if you should listen to the reviews. I mean like read them, but if you're feeling like this game is kind of getting dumb, I mean it's probably getting kind of dumb
Yeah,
because it's it's a certain kind of game. And like I said, man, I love all those Bethesda games, but I started playing it and I just I was like, nah, man, I it at least not now. I'm
hmm,
not gonna play through this now. Um, since I got the Series X, I actually re-downloaded it and I was playing a little bit more, just like walking around, just doing more exploring and stuff. And yeah, man, it's just I like I said, it's a good game. I I don't know if I'd throw it in that game of the year category.
yeah,
Um and I mean I haven't played enough to be like, hey man, no, I'm only maybe like an hour into it, maybe 2 hours, and I haven't done anything. I literally have just explored, died a bunch because I ended up in an area where like the enemies are like level 10 and I'm getting like one shot. So I went into like some base and there's these robots like similar to like your companion robot or whatever that you start off with.
yeah.
Like I keep walking into this facility, man, and I get bopped. He just walks right up to me and punches me and kills me. So yeah. And like my save, it's like right before I get to there. So it's like I mean, I don't have to go in there. Like when it loads up, I could turn around and like walk back or whatever.
Yeah,
But every time I walk into this area, man, this damn robot. And then so I've got a melee weapon. I've got this axe. I've got like this safety axe or something, and that actually does the most damage in my inventory right now. So I'll run in there with that axe, man. I'll get like 3 good swings at him, and nothing, like just maybe like 1/16 of damage done to him, and then I just get bopped, boom, dead. So I'm like, oh man. But I know like I'm not supposed to be in that area, being that the all the enemies and the pirates and stuff that are there are like super high level. Well, not super high
yeah.
level, but relative to what my level 1 is. I think I'm level 2 now, but you know. going up against a level 2 enemy is suicide.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool though. Those type of games where we both start in the same exact place, but me and you have had totally different experiences with it so far. Like you've been to a
Mhm.
whole different area than I've ever been to. Like I haven't even gotten to that robot area yet. So it's pretty cool how stuff like that works. These big ass games.
Yeah, and there's like these like I don't know if they're like ghost characters or like what, but they have like this like camouflage on them, and like I'll just be walking and there's like nothing going on, then all of a sudden like I'm getting shot, and then like I'm looking around, and there's like a guy with like it's like this like invisible like camo type, so you can kind of see like almost like his silhouette as he's like moving.
Yeah.
Um, so there's a bunch of those guys out and about that are, and they're trying to kill me, I think. But the last one I encountered, there's actually two, and then there was like this big monster that came out. So they were actually focusing their fire on that big monster, and I started to join into the firefight, and I think I might have shot one of them or something, and then they turned on me and killed me. So I was like, oh, all right, let
Damn,
me
I
get out
haven't
of
even
that
seen
area.
that.
Yeah. So it's and this wasn't as high of a level. This was like a level 6 or something like that. These were like level 6 and level 7. But yeah, there was like this big monster and these two like invisible cloak type guys or whatever the hell they are, just trying
Yeah.
to shoot it, and then they turn their weapons on me.
Huh. That's pretty sick. I don't even know what you're talking about. I got to go check it out now. Got to go
Uh,
do some
so
exploring.
so if you could go to like the very first world that you go to, what is it like Crete? I think it is.
It sounds familiar. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's Crete. So if you start off at Crete, and as soon as you get off your ship, so you're facing north. If you head like northeast, and you just keep walking, like you'll pass like a bunch of like the little the grub things or whatever the hell those are. Those like
Uh huh.
they're like level ones or whatever. But you just keep walking, and then eventually you'll start seeing those grubs, but they're higher level. You just keep walking, and then eventually you'll get to where you're in a spot where there's significantly higher and higher leveled enemies than you are.
Hmm.
But probably for you, I don't know what level you are, but if you go there now, you're probably going to be able to smash all that stuff there.
Yeah, I think I'm a 15 or 16 now.
Unless those enemies scale with your level.
Oh yeah. Interesting. Interesting.
I do you think you're going to be able to you think you're going to finish it before Spider-Man 2 comes out? Probably not.
Oh, what is it? September 14th. Honestly, I probably am not going to finish it. I'll probably get a lot more time into it, but I probably won't finish it because I'm still not even doing like the main story missions. I'm just walking around exploring stuff, and then when I come across an interesting side quest, I'll go do that side quest, and I'll do that for hours.
Mhm.
So there's probably no end in sight for me at the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's
Dang,
cool.
man.
It's cool. I'm overall, I'm still enjoying it. Man,
Well, that's the important thing. As long as you're having fun with it.
yeah, that's an hour there, old school.
Yeah, damn. That went by quick.
Yeah, had some stuff to
That
talk
went
about.
by quick.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, yeah. We'll have to put that convo off about the wrestling to another episode.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that was another thing this week. A big milestone in WWE history. The McMahons are no longer owners, or I guess technically they are still kind of owners. No, I guess not. There's not a McMahon in charge of WWE, even though he technically kind of is still in charge because he's on the board of directors.
Yeah, yeah. So he got part of that deal with TKO, like the merger. He's like the lifetime executive chair or something like that. I don't really know. It's kind of wild. but one of my buddies is like, "Oh man, uh, they're gonna start." What did he say? So I know Nick Khan said something about having events like Friday will be SmackDown, Saturday will be a UFC event, and then Sunday will be the WWE Premium Live event.
Uh huh.
So my buddy thinks that what's going to end up happening is they're going to change their pay structure for the Premium Live events. So now with UFC events, you have to have ESPN2 in order to watch UFC,
Oh
but
man.
then you have to pay separate for the pay-per-views. So and now like the pay-per-views are like $80. Before they used to be 50, now they're like $80 for these pay-per-views. So in addition to having ESPN2 or ESPN Plus or whatever it is, you have to pay for the pay-per-view. So I
Yeah.
think WWE is going to end up doing that also. Well, that's what he thinks. So he thinks that it's going to turn out to where you have to have Peacock. So you have your Peacock subscription, but in order to get the pay per view, you have to have a Peacock subscription, and then you have to pay X amount of dollars for that pay per view.
That's unreal.
If in fact that happens, I probably won't even get WrestleMania, to be honest with you, because with as big of an event as WrestleMania is, I guarantee like that pay per view is going to be like $100,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and it's and maybe they're going to be like, oh, like it's $100 per night because now it's 2 nights. So, or maybe they'll do like a package deal where it's like, oh, 150 for both nights. Nah, man, that
Yeah.
ain't happening.
Man.
The what makes the pay per views like so good with WWE is the fact that like Peacock is what $5 a month, whatever the hell they have those
Mhm.
deals too. Like I got a deal. It was like $2 a month for the year.
Yeah.
So it's like what, like $20 for like the full year.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you get like the premium live events and all that stuff. Man, I'm not paying extra for that.
No, not at all. Hell no. Man, I don't know. I don't know how far you're willing to go, but want to holler at me? I'll get you set up with that app I got. You watch
Yeah,
everything. But it's like $30 a month for that. But you get everything. So
yeah,
I think it's well worth it. Especially I'm heavy into watching the NFL and everything now. I get all those games, all
man.
that. So
Yeah, actually, when we get off here, man, let's talk a little bit because Alexa watches. I meant the wife. Didn't mean to put her out there like that. um, she watches Florida State because
hmm
she graduated from Florida State, so she always watches like their games. But in order to watch the Florida State games, you got to have the whatever the HCC, the FCC, or whatever the hell, like that
Yeah.
network, whatever
Yep.
the ACC. You got to have like that one, and then the other one is like ESPN2. So we use Sling for our cable, and we have Sling Blue. And the only reason we have Sling Blue is because that's what has USA. So they have another package that has the channels that she would need for football, which is Sling Orange, but they don't have the USA Network on that Sling Orange package. So we're so so you're forced to buy the blue package and the orange package in order to watch this stuff. So typically around this time of year, we end up signing up for both, and so we end up like for like 3 months or so, we pay like 100 and change for some cable television or for
Yeah.
some streaming television, I should say. But yeah, man, if yeah, we'll talk when we're done.
All right. All right. Let's sign off here then. You guys, if you're watching on YouTube, I appreciate you. Hop on over to. Oh, I just realized I didn't even have my banner up this whole time. Uh,
Oh,
go check us out on Apple and Spotify. Rate us, subscribe to us. Let us know in the comments what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see, what you want to hear us talk about, all that stuff. Um, I appreciate everybody listening, watching, all that stuff. Old school, thanks for hanging out again. And we'll see y'all next week. See ya.
peace.